Hello, I'm back from another video. My name is Josh Kasich, and today is The Batman spoiler review. So if you've not seen this movie yet and don't want any spoilers, I don't know why you clicked this video when spoiler is in the title. But if you accidentally click this video and don't want spoilers, I'll give you 10 seconds to leave the video, alright? Okay, well, it's been 10 seconds. If you are still on this video, you have been warned. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to break this down because this is a 3-hour movie. Essentially, I've done this twice before. This is my third time recording this video, and they just went way too long. The first one's 25, the next one's about 24. I just don't think I could do this film, break it down without making a long video. So I'm going to try my best to get the points out of here. So the idea of the film is that basically this takes place 2 years after Bruce Wayne became Batman. So he hasn't really become the Batman that we all loved yet. He's still he's more in the dark still. He's not that hope, that hero. So this film is not necessarily a hero film. It's more of a detective film because Batman is supposed to be a detective. Now, Batman is supposed to be a balance of both detective and hero. But since this is starting off point, we don't get to see that hero, really get to see that hero-ness of it. We just get to see that detective side. We get most of the hero stuff is near the end of the film when Batman really learns what he's supposed to be, a symbol of hope for the city. Because of that, obviously most of this film is just him being a detective. So in the next film, because I have no doubt that this will not get a sequel, we're going to see that balance of both being a hero and a detective. At least I hope, because I feel like that is the next transition. That's the next development of the character, and they just kind of do what they did in this film. It doesn't. I feel like it doesn't show a growth of the character. So I assume that there's going to in the next film there's going to be a little bit more heroism in it. But we will see. So the main premise of this is that you have a bunch of corrupt officials kind of in this. They help with this rat, help take down a drug lord. I forgot what his name. Maybe was it Thorn? Maybe it was Thorn. I can't remember off the top of. I can't remember the top of my head, but they took them down, and then I guess Carmine Falcone took more power, and he's actually the rat who and so he gained more power and took over the drug business, and then all these other officials got onto the drug business, and so Falcone's the real mayor of the city, while everyone else is kind of under him and reaping in this corrupted money, including the commissioner, not Jim Gordon, but his former partner, Pete Savage, and the mayor, the DA, and so many people. So the Riddler wants to amass these fakes, these people, to bring real change to the city that these people are kind of masking under, that all the mayors and everyone's masking under, and it's all a lie. And then and so he also has this fascination with the Batman. It's revealed that he thinks he's working with the Batman, or the Batman's working with him. And it's really not the case, because Batman's trying to stop the Riddler and everything, and killing these people, and this is a much more serious Riddler. We also get playing in a part of this is that basically you have it's revealed that the mayor's been hanging out with this woman at the Iceberg Lounge that isn't his wife, and her name is Anika, and she is actually a roommate of Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. And one day, Anika gets kidnapped, and so Catwoman kind of tries to work with Batman occasionally to figure out what happened to Anika, until at one point when they thought that the Penguin was actually the rat, and they went to his kind of drug operation where we also get to see a corrupt cop. It's revealed that Nika's dead body is in a bag, is in one of the bags that's supposed to be filled with money. And there's this huge chase scene between the Penguin and the Batman, and then the Batman captures the Penguin. The Penguin figures out that he's not the he's not the rat. Okay, and so basically, pretty much everyone, with the help of Catwoman, he realizes that there's a rat. I think with the DA, because the DA is in the Iceberg Lounge, and she kind of goes undercover and discovers this. He also Carmine actually confronts Selina Kyle like they knew each other, which kind of where Batman tries to figure out why they knew each other, and she kind of gets annoyed and kind of breaks their partnership, but then I guess comes back. There's one point in the movie where she's on the rooftop where the Batman call signal, where they kind of talk and have this moment, and they share a kiss. And she also reveals that she's actually the daughter of Carmine Falcone, and her mother used to work in the Iceberg Lounge before she was murdered by someone in there, and everything. And also the Penguins actually works under Carmine Falcone. I forgot to mention that. So, and then there's a point where Alfred gets injured because Bruce was supposed to be attacked, because it turns out that the Riddler's actually an orphan from the orphanage that was going to be saved or helped when Bruce Wayne's father becomes the mayor. But obviously Bruce Wayne's father gets killed, and everyone forgets about that orphanage and all the orphans, because the whole talk about Bruce Wayne being an orphan now and how sad it is. But in reality, he has all this money, and so he's not really like an orphan like the Riddler is, who's like a real orphan, no money, doesn't have anything, and so he has this grudge against Bruce Wayne. And then after that, he reveals and not only does he have a grudge against Bruce Wayne, he actually has a grudge against his father, because the reason why he got killed, well, at least what the Riddler believes, is that essentially Martha is actually from a family that also kind of found the city, but her family has a very bad backstory in which her parents murdered each other, where like the father was abusive, and so the mother killed him, and then she killed herself. And then Martha's gone through institutions of mental stuff, and her reporter got this information that was going to leak this, which would hurt Bruce Wayne's father's campaign and everything. And so the idea is that he asked Carmine Falcone, who the Riddler believes that they were associates because of the fact that Bruce Wayne's father actually helped him earlier a long time ago when Carmine was actually shot pretty badly. And so where Bruce Wayne actually was there to see that, which reminds me of The Long Halloween. And also Selina being Carmine's daughter is also from The Long Halloween, which is what this movie is kind of based on, or some aspects of it. There's an animated movie on it, and I don't remember the Riddler being as the main villain in that one. But I definitely do recommend either reading the comic. I haven't read the comics. I did watch the anime movie, but I definitely do recommend go watch an anime movie. It's actually really good. But yeah, so there's kind of this all going on here. But in reality, after Bruce Wayne kind of confronting Carmine about it, and he's saying it's the truth or whatever, he confronts Alfred about it, who wakes up, but Alfred tells the truth that no, he didn't want the reporter to be killed. It was just a mistake, that he just wanted the reporter to have fear not to release the stuff, not to save his family image and his stuff, but to protect his wife Martha, or his. So that was the idea behind it. But Falcone decided just to murder the guy, and when Bruce Wayne's father found out about that, he was going to actually report this to the police and then Falcone had him murdered, and that's kind of what was going on there. So obviously, I don't think that I think that plot line is actually new for the movies. I don't think that was. I've never actually read that origin story for his parents and for him as Bruce Wayne's origin. So I thought that was definitely an interesting take to change it up a little bit. I did enjoy that part. And then I talked about there's that moment, right, where they're going to work together again, but she's going to find that corrupt cop. This one's different from Pete Savage, who was actually murdered, and Jim Gordon became the commissioner. This basically eventually she does actually able to capture him. Sorry about that. There was a garbage truck going by, and I have no idea when exactly that's going to cut off. So I'm just kind of going to go off where I believe that kind of all started. So back on the rooftop, Catwoman is with that cop, and he's the rooftop where the bat signal is, and basically Batman and Jim Gordon show up while Catwoman's beating up on the cop, and she reveals that she got her phone back because the day that Nika got kidnapped, her phone was taken as well, and revealed that Nika did like a voicemail or recording sent to her phone or try to call her, where it's revealed that Falcone is in fact the Rat, and that the mayor told her that, and so Falcone murdered her or strangled her. And so Catwoman gives the phone to Jim Gordon, kind of tries to kick the police officer off the rooftop so they fall to his death, but Batman and Jim Gordon save him, and Catwoman runs off to go kill Falcone. There, she is able to sneak in, and then the news break. She's about to murder him, but he goes away after there's some news on the television about the phone recording, and then she gets up and tries to shoot him. There's this huge fight sequence where basically Catwoman was losing, is about to get strangled by Falcone. Also, she does reveal to him that she is his daughter, and then he also revealed that that he killed her mother. So it's very interesting there. But Batman was actually able to stop it all, and then brings Falcone out to the light where the Riddler has him. Riddler kills him, and then Riddler kind of runs away to a bar to purposely get kidnapped to go put in Arkham City. Everyone checks out his place and everything. But then Batman confronts Riddler in Arkham City, where he kind of reveals everything about his hatred for Bruce Wayne, and thinking that Batman's working with him, but Batman really wasn't working with him. And then it kind of reveals some more stuff that made Batman go back to his place, where he discovered that Riddler's next plan is to blow up different spots around the city that will allow the city to get flooded, to bring real change to the city. And he's also, when the floods happen, everyone's going to go to this one place, a protection area, where the mayor would be the new mayor, who's also going to talk about renewal and everything. And you know how the Riddler thinks all that's fake, has goons that are going to murder her. And so the Batman, obviously, the mayor does get shot, but she's rescued by Jim Gordon, and the Batman shows up with Catwoman, and they kind of beat up on the bad guys, and then they defeat them, and then there's after that, there's a little moment where Catwoman and Batman kind of drive together on their motorcycles Batman's trying to say farewell to Catwoman because she's leaving the city, and they kind of go separate ways, and Batman goes back to the city to help people and become the hope of the city, because he realized that he can't save the city by being vengeance of the shadows. The only way he can save the city is by being the hope for the city. And this kind of drowns out the Riddler's main plan is to go from a nobody orphan to someone known to Gotham. Everyone knows him. but because of Batman being the new hope and helping people, everyone just kind of forgets about him. The Riddler, and this gets him really annoyed. But the Joker convinces him that you did a pretty good job, though. No need to be upset. But I can help you. He puts his mind by basically saying the Riddler's catchphrase, and I kind of riddle me this by saying a riddle, which the Riddler says, "Oh, partnership." Right, and so then they kind of said they're going to be a partner. And then they do this entire laugh thing, and then the movie ends. So overall, I say I really enjoyed the writing. I think the story was really well made. I don't think there's any plot holes whatsoever, at least not that I could think of. Some people said at the end when Batman gets shot and he gets pretty affected by it, but he's not affected by any other scene. People saying that don't actually understand the guns. My dad does, and he telling the guns that they used at the end and the bullets they use are very different than any of the other guns and bullets used throughout the rest of the movie. They are pretty devastating, and that they can pretty much pierce pierce a lot of like armaments, even like a bodysuit like that. In fact, those bullets should have at that range should have actually went through Batman, but it didn't. But it's still enough to affect him. Okay, so that is not a plot hole. That actually makes a lot of sense. I like the story. I think all the actors did a really good job playing the characters. This is the first time I'm seeing Robert Pattinson anything since Twilight, and that movies were bad and his acting it wasn't the best in those movies. But watching this, he did a phenomenal job acting. He was really good. I think Zoe is definitely one of my favorite Batwoman. Did I just say Batwoman? Catwoman. I think she did a really good job. Her character wasn't wasted. I feel like we get to see a lot of her character in the story. Not that Michelle Pfeiffer didn't, the original cat like she was good. Like she's good. I just think she was kind of wasting that film. You know, she did a really good job playing the character, and the movie isn't that bad. So I think that was definitely good. Obviously, and Hathaway, I think she did a really good job too in the Dark Knight trilogy. But I think overall, I think this is definitely my favorite on-screen depiction of Catwoman. I with Jim Gordon, I said this before. I don't like it when they change a character just for a political statement. But I feel like that just didn't hurt this film. I think the actor did play a really good job playing Jim Gordon. I think it was really well done, and he's a really good actor. So I assume I didn't think he was going to do a poor job playing Jim Gordon. So I think that was well done. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. I think it's a little dragging at the end, but I think that was okay. It was, I think that's my only problem with it, but I did enjoy it. I'm not a big fan for the Joker saying the Riddler's catchphrase. I didn't like that, but I guess it's interesting. And the Riddler, I'm kind of mixed about the Riddler. I think making him serious for the film just makes sense. I think making his more comedic version or his normal version that we come to know just wouldn't work for this film and actually would probably ruin it. But at the same time, I'm so used to that Riddler thing that it just makes me feel kind of weird having that serious Riddler. So I'm mixed. I'm kind of mixed feelings on the Riddler for me. And then other than that, yeah, I think everything was well done. Yeah, I'm also excited for the second because obviously I think this is going to be a second one. But I'm not excited if the main villain is the Joker or even a partnership with the Riddler and the Joker. We have done Joker to death in live action. I don't want any more Joker. If Joker is in the second one and plays the main villain, it will feel too much like The Dark Knight, the Joker was the main villain. I just don't want any more Joker. Okay, like can we it's cool to have Joker here in that scene because it's interesting, but please save him for at least a third movie or something. Don't just maybe bring him the second one. Bring some more love to other villains. villains that we haven't seen on the big screen, or villains that we have but done really poorly, like Poison Ivy or Mr. Freeze, or I think Two-Face was kind of interesting in the Dark Knight trilogy, but his character was kind of wasted because he immediately died. Like he wasn't really well used. So even then, like, have him at least, because the only other depiction besides the Dark Knight version was the same problem with there was the same movie with that bad kind of Riddler sounding Joker thing with Jim Carrey. I just something different, please. That's all I asked. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you're new, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know if I my next upload. My YouTube channel, website link, my Twitter, my Snapchat, and Instagram are all in the description as always. And thank you. Goodbye.